for those of you who actually remember Google, that blank box, it's not enough anymore. You need something that we'd like to call scaffolding. Let's take this concept in two different ways first. So one, scaffolding in light of construction is a temporary structure, flat surface, usually up by metal poles or planks. It supports the workers as they start to do repairs or cleaning of a building. The idea of having scaffolding in a construction environment, it's temporary support. Now, we'll take that same idea and look at scaffolding in the education space. It's a method that educators use in order to temporarily support, to guide, to coach, and help students with new concepts or skill building. This helps reinforce things so that once they are equipped and they understand those concepts, they slowly remove those things gradually and introduce new. This helps to reinforce proficiency and do it independently. So you have one that temporarily supports the needs of the workers. You have another that moderately and gradually supports and aids another so that improvements are made. And then you have scaffolding in technology. This is where I see the value in designing for the AI product space. To introduce the concept of scaffolding in technology, we'll talk about call to action, or the input box, if you will. And I'll break down these in a couple of real world examples so you have a real good idea on what to expect when doing or building UIs for this type of products. The first one on this list is suggestion. And this is like those little pre-made prompts, those things that stand out, like a autocomplete or a tip or something that's actually very helpful. In this example, they have a prompt box, prompt field, and it allows for some areas and suggestions to be made so that you have an understanding of how to proceed. Suggestive things in AI. In this application, you'll see that there is a suggestive area where it's suggesting how to actually connect, how to utilize this product so that you can get the best results. Some examples and some references so you're not alone. You're not starting from scratch. And that's very helpful in the AI world. The second item I'll talk about is galleries. And this is where there are pre-made prompts or pre-made collections of items so that you can kind of see or have an idea of what to expect before you even commit to it. This helps, and it kills some of that anxiety of what you think it should be and kind of shows you a reference or an example. That's seemingly helpful in today's era. The third one we'll talk about is prompt enhancers. This is almost like an autocorrect for your ideas. Let's say you go in with this wild, incorrect spelling, shorthand notes for things. What happens when the enhancer works, it starts to recreate or rewrite your ideas so that the AI has a really good basis to work from because it crafted it in a way that will respond well to the model. The fourth thing on this list is mode selectors. And this is where you're able to switch between different types or different options to get you the best results. I'll show you an example here in that prompt section where you can see you can switch and toggle on and off, whether it's a research, whether it's a web search, whatever it is that you can jump through. Deep thinking mode, these can be toggled on and off to help you tailor your results in a more effective way. And this is really great in today's UI. The fifth item is attachments. This is where you provide more context, adding a PDF, a link, or a file to be able to connect more and give these models context. In this example, you'll see that there are options to select files, to add attachments, any assets to make it way more fruitful in what results you get. It's kind of like a conversation, which these are what it's really being built on. The more context that I give you and the more I share details with you, the more you have a basis to either provide an opinion or to help me strategize on a next approach. The more information you have, you can weed out and eliminate things that aren't tied to the solution and really tailor it for something that's a bit more favorable. The sixth item we'll talk about is templates. These are pre-built projects that give you a really good starting point. You've seen it a lot in Notion, design libraries or design files, pre-made packages, pre-purchased things. These are a set of instructions, tips, tools, and things in a project that's packaged so you don't have to start from square one. This is great for kind of workflow heavy things and approaches. And I think it's a surefire way to help your user get on board really, really quickly and just get a small win. So now that you have an idea of some of the elements of scaffolding within the design, you want to learn more about gamification, click this link. And to go over all the psychology of mobile apps, check this one. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.